Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And this is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And this episode is pre-recorded for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, so full disclosure, we are recording this one a bit early because our
Producer? Isn't that what he is?
Brandon.
Brandon.
That's his real name.
Yeah, it has got to go do stuff with his family.
like vacation or something.
Like, my dad's gone. I can't go snowboarding with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well, that was real dark.
He brought that.
Okay.
But just imagine if you could.
Yeah, in heaven.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're gonna
Someday.
get some updates on our running, some stuff that's upcoming, but it'll be kind
You're
of
going to miss out on
yeah.
a race recap for this weekend, which could be good or bad depending on how I do.
Yeah.
So you might be lucking out and not getting sad sacking.
When you're hearing this, we will have just run the BNA half marathon, Thomas and I, and you'll get to hear about that a week later with our cherry blossom recap.
Yeah, because we're gearing up for the cherry blossom. It's really smart to be running multiple races back to back in a week, right?
Well, and then I'm doing a marathon after that, so
Yeah.
real smart.
Okay.
What is it? Is it Boston or something?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a marathon.
Wait, I know we just talked about this, but the Cherry Blossom, is that the, like, not this weekend, but the week, like, in
The
10
following
days?
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought, are you sure?
Yeah.
You got no time, son.
Because it's 2 weeks before Boston.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Robbie, you got to get them legs flowing again.
My internal clock is so jacked up because of COVID. I
Yeah.
think. Remember I
No
signed
one
up for the
knows.
50K and I was like,
Well-
oh, this is 3 months away. And it was like in 6 weeks.
And then events didn't happen, so you're like, whatever.
Well, and then daylight saving happened, and I felt like the whole world just got weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're getting rid of that, though, right?
I think we confirmed that it's
No.
No?
So I thought I did confirm, but I guess it's still up for debate because the Senate.
What
has
is
to
to
pass.
Is
debate?
it, who's the guy who's like, no, look, I really would prefer.
I actually heard an anti-argument for it, and I was like, oh man, now I'm like back on the other side.
is it because of the teachers and the schools?
Not so much of the teachers, but as somebody who does take their kids to school by walking and riding our bikes, it would
You
be
don't want it
dark
to be
every
dark,
morning, and I'm
yeah.
like, okay, that does kind of
It
suck.
wouldn't. It would be like that dusky.
Haze?
Yeah, you know, like like the sun might not be up, but it'll be light out.
Would it?
Yeah. Usually when we are running in the winter, it like if we get out early, before the sun comes up, you have like a half an hour of like
Yeah.
light.
Yeah, I get that because the sunrise as the actual time
Yeah.
is incorrect. It's light out before that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they need to change the definition. of
Here's the other
sunrise.
weird part, like Maine, because it sticks out further, and Florida that sticks out further.
Mhm.
Their mornings are much brighter than our mornings. So
Well, is that true or is Florida just Florida?
all I know is when I'm in Florida, the
That's-
sun gets.
Well, it's
comes up
also
early.
close to the equator, which
Yeah.
I think matters. But Michigan is weird like that because they're on the time zone line. So if you're in like Western Michigan, Grand Rapids, and so on, it's like an hour.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Like later, it stays that late out to like 10 p.m. there.
Oh, that's crazy. Like Canada
Mm-hmm.
or Alaska.
Geography 101 with Believe in the Run.
Yeah.
Don't go in Carmen San Diego or you will lose.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd have nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Well, man, we already burned like 5 minutes.
I know, that's great. I
Um,
hope you're enjoying this.
So-
Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about it. So we are going to be, it seems like getting busy right now. We're going to be running into races and doing stuff. So
Spring racing season is like on.
yeah, so I'm going to do the 5K up at Boston.
Mhm.
You're going to do the full marathon. We got feathers coming. We're going to have a bagel run the day before Boston, that Sunday at 8:30. You can check out our Instagram stories, like those little stories that you save. There's a yellow and blue one that's click on that. You can
And
RSVP.
if you plan on coming, you need to RSVP because we're ordering bagels. And if you don't RSVP, we won't order a bagel for you.
And it's kind of interesting. We're not just ordering bagels. We had somebody who's a Boston native go and rank all their bagel places.
Yeah.
Take pictures, send the pictures and their rankings to Megan Featherston. So we're providing that list to ASICS and saying, this is where we want our bagels from.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have to come up
legit.
just for
Gary,
this.
I think you should just stay. Like you and Brandon should just rent a vehicle or something, sleep in the back of it because
Yeah.
hotels are
pitch that-
insane.
I'll pitch that to my wife. Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Just going for a week to Boston to eat bagels.
Yeah. Well, not just that. You're going to go up and do a PR event with New Balance on that Wednesday before.
Yeah.
So you're going to be up there.
Yeah, I know. No, that would be fun. Hey, let me ask something. going through the Boston Marathon, you run that Hopkinton to Boston. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
To Boylston.
Boylston. So there's the one area that's like the Wellesley Scream Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really loud?
It is very loud.
And aren't you supposed to like kiss a girl?
They
You
stopped
are.
that during COVID, though.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But is that back?
I bet it's back.
I think that these are college women
And
that may be drinking.
and if it is back, is that cheating?
Most of it is like a kiss on the cheek. Like,
but
that's-
I don't necessarily think it's cheating because you're not getting digits and like gonna call them later.
you
Yeah.
don't know.
But for me, you know my problems.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Thomas is a germaphobe.
I'm not.
So
I'm not like.
I thought you meant you were like
He's
a
not
sex
even-
addict. I was
he's
like,
not-
Yeah.
he's not even gonna get a high five out there. He's gonna.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you were, well, I've always been. I was like, wow, I wonder where that falls on the.
I don't
line of
think
things.
like that is almost like. It's not.
like
It's
acting.
not sexual and it's not real. They're not into you.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like that guy right there
Yeah.
with the mustache.
Yeah. They're out.
I want him.
Yeah.
They're just like
Clearly.
it's like a high five, I think, and like it's not like
It's like in a movie. You're like in a movie.
sort of, but like if you got a high five from a guy, would you be like, hey, we hanging out later? We're gonna get beers or what?
That's true. Yeah.
It was cool though. So I ran it in 2015 and it was like pouring rain. I was shocked at the amount of spectators because it was literally 40 and raining, like the worst conditions
Oh, yeah.
for spectating an event. And you start going through some of the rolling hills before you hit the girls, but you can hear them.
Whoa.
It's like a hum. And even through like the rain and the wind, like I heard it and I was like, this is insane.
How long is it?
It's not that long.
Like 25
I
yards or
couldn't
something.
That's the weird thing
Yes.
is you think of Boston in your head and it's so iconic. Like last year when we were there with the Jordan and doing that stuff, I was like, this is a marathon. This is,
Yeah.
you know, it's a marathon. It has great spectators and there's certain sections that are iconic,
Mm-hmm.
but there's parts that are just like that one area where we're at the start
Mile
of the hills.
18.
You're just out on the road,
there.
just running like
Yeah.
no fanfare, no like excitement. Like, as a matter of fact, everybody looked miserable as
Uh-huh.
when they're coming through there. Like that's where we saw like all the league guys. Then you see the elites, you see the sub elites, and you know. And when I say sub elites, these people are still running like 2:30
Right.
marathons and stuff like that. And so what you're seeing there is kind of a carnage. So it's all the people that should be running really well. At mile 18, you're starting to see some wheels fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So you're seeing people in the hurt locker. Like Parker Stinson was the one that like left it, like almost hurt my heart when I saw him because still running an amazing marathon, but not exactly what he wanted. And you could see it. Like you can see it on their faces.
That's tough.
It's also like one of the biggest hills. It's funny because Heartbreak Hill is not actually the largest hill of the race. It's just where it's placed that everyone talks about that one.
Right.
And so
What is it? Oh, sorry. go
after
ahead.
that, it's all kind of downhill.
So the hill that we were on was probably one of the bigger
I
ones.
think
you
it is the biggest. Yeah.
Oh wow.
What's it comparable to around here? You don't have to tell me this now. You can tell me.
No,
after.
the hill that we were on was probably comparable to when you hit the bottom of that park, Clifton Park, and you have to run
okay.
up to the top.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, and that's
a long,
horrible-
gradual-
Yeah, it's just a grinder, a little bit of a grinder,
Yeah.
and it's just like if you were humming along and you come into it on a downhill, so you're probably like rolling, and then it's just like backpack put on you.
Plus, I feel like mile 18 mentally is like, for me at least, miles 15 through 18 are mentally so hard.
I agree with you. I think once you hit 20, you're like, okay,
10K
It's a
to
10K,
go.
yeah.
10K to go. And even though a 10K is still stupid long, you're just like, I'm through the teens.
And then you hit 23, and then I'm like, I can't do a 5K. I'm dead. This is over.
Yeah, run it with your heart now. You're like, my heart is gone.
Everything's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything just feels like jelly.
And then 25, you're like, okay, I can do it again.
Yeah.
Because 1 mile.
And then you see the arch, and that's where the excitement happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's out of body experience because you're just like, I have nothing left. I have nothing left. Oh, the arch. I'm going to go as fast as I can. And
It's crazy.
It is weird though, because like the 5K the other day, I didn't normally. I do have like a second
kick.
gear or a kick. I had nothing. It was just like
at the end?
Yeah.
It was just like, if you look at Thomas's Strava, it was like just straight positive splits.
And I was like, but I felt like I was going negative splits.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I am really kicking it in now. But it was just like,
Oh man.
hand me a sandbag. I'm also like, I'm running the 5K in Boston. I'm a little nervous about it because there isn't that giant downhill that we have here in Baltimore for that.
But it's
5K.
flat.
Yeah.
And
well, Baltimore was flat.
You're going to have like crazy amount of people and crowds, and it's Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's it's on Saturday?
The 5K is on Saturday.
It's like a loop.
So Saturday, and then there's nothing on Sunday.
Well,
Except for
there's
our
a
bagel
bagel
run.
run.
But I meant like for the
Just the
Boston.
expo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the expo opens at 9. So if you came and did the bagel run, you can hang out with us, do all that stuff.
Then
be
go get
right
your
next to
bib.
the expo.
Oh, nice.
So you're going to be going to the expo anyway.
Cool.
Do you know what I did in 2015? I went straight from the airport to the expo with like all my luggage. It was the biggest mistake I've ever
I
made
remember her complaining about it.
because it was like packed.
She still is.
This was like I know, 10 years later.
I could
feel,
see that.
Okay, so you have to understand when Megan ran it the first time, her tendon on her under her ankle was bugging her. We had found a way to get her. This is back pre Super Shoe, and Meg used to love running the Clifton. So we had to hunt down a pair, and this is Clifton 1. This is the first time Clifton came out.
Not as ubiquitous as it is now.
It was as hard to get as a Vaporfly. And so we got her the teal and yellow pair that she wanted. But she got up to Boston, and in the forecast, it was like freezing rain. And it was like, her ankle hurts. I was like, I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, but somehow I feel like there's just magic out on that course. I was like 20 seconds off of a PR, having like the worst training cycle of my life. So, and then I could not walk for literally 3 days.
Well,
Yeah, and that ankle thing just disappeared.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. It was like nagged her for like a year and a half.
you just gotta get it on.
Turns out you just have to run Boston.
Yeah.
Run Boston.
That's
free
the
it up.
cure.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I never get it normally. I only get it if I go to a bagel place or something. But like the salmon lox cream cheese, like where they mix it into the cream cheese, I really like that.
Do you like lox? But you don't like lox and bagel normally.
No, maybe I feel like I'm getting to the age where
yes.
maybe it's time to
Turning
try.
into an old Jewish
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Some raw onion and lox on there, and I might actually like it.
I love it.
Meg's dad loves
The
lox.
capers on there make it salty.
Lox are already salty, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's like extra salty.
Okay.
Smoky, more smoky.
Okay.
Well, see, the smoke flavor is like I hate that. That's the worst
I don't
part.
understand that.
Ugh, I don't know.
I think this is the second time we've talked about lox and bagel on this
We
podcast.
have because someone made
did
the
a trip-
vegan one.
Yeah. Whatever.
Kimchi.
The pickled, whatever.
Do you think they're gonna have that at the ASICS thing?
I don't know. Was that Jen who brought that?
No, that was Mac, the one dude who runs
Okay,
it.
I got to meet the one woman that you guys ran the trail with.
Mhm. Yeah, she did not bring that.
Seemed cool.
Yeah,
Now that we've
that was 2 weeks ago.
tested out all of these super shoes, are you still going Alpha Fly for your 5K?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the only way
That
that
streak fly?
the only way I'd switch that out is if I could test something new, like if New Balance was like, "Hey, here's the SC Trainer or the SC Elite,"
Okay.
then I would be like, "There you go."
No SC Pacer?
Or if maybe ASIC, since we're up there for the bagel run, Mac wants to slap a pair of, Metaspeed Sky
2?
next version. I can't tell you what it's called, but it's not 2.
Wait, it's not.
No,
Really? Okay, whatever.
I maybe it's not a secret. Well, no,
Just-
Okay.
I don't know if it is or isn't, so I'll just leave it alone.
All right.
But-
Speaking of shoes,
Yeah,
That are super.
hold on, I'm gonna grab
yeah,
Not super.
supers.
super-ish.
Super
So
on.
our relationship with On has been what I would call
Off.
as cordial as a divorced couple.
Oh.
Like we're kind of quietly like, let's just go our separate ways.
I've never had. You've had that. Haven't had that.
Anyway, maybe that's
Let's just move on.
Yeah, let's just move on. what our relationship with On has been in the past is we haven't really found a shoe that we've really jived with. There's some shoes that work. There's some shoes that have been okay. And then there hasn't been anything that we've like really, really liked.
They've never been on our top lists.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, I've hated pretty much every shoe I've run in.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we go back in the history, as soon as Robbie came on and started reviewing, I stopped reviewing On. So I was like, here, Robbie, they're for you now.
Well, I think the real struggle was that they all kind of felt very similar because they all have a plate and some bubbles.
Yeah, it's called a speed board.
Oh, speed
And
board.
so
Get it right or pay the
what
price.
happens is on an On shoe, the midsole is attached to the speed board because that's how you attach the Cloud Tech, these bubbles that you see on it. So that inherently sets you up for a firmer ride. And you think, oh, plates are awesome, but Nike and the other companies aren't putting in plates right against your foot. They're putting it packed in the foam.
Yeah.
So that you're not right on top of it.
Different kind of plate.
Well,
So-
then the other part of it is we're sort of expecting this cloud-like, light, bouncy feel.
Yeah, and it's like firmer than a
Yeah.
2x4
So I feel like that
covered in cement.
Yeah,
that-
maybe if you didn't call it clouds.
that disconnect, I think, really, as much as we might not think it does, I think if your expectations are different from what you feel out there, mentally, like you're totally gonna nix the shoe.
Now, where we've always loved On was the design. Like
Yeah.
the uppers are just so well designed.
Yeah.
It really is a pretty shoe for the most part. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the Cloud Tech midsole, Robbie.
I do too. I will say for purposes of this shoe, we can just probably get into this one. This is probably the best.
Did we
version
say
of it
what
yet.
this shoe we're talking
It's the
about?
On-
is?
The On Cloudmonster.
Yeah, and this is probably the best.
It's definitely
The best.
This
midsole
is
yet.
my favorite. I don't even have to like hold back. This is my favorite On I've ever worn.
I especially as just a normal shoe, I love it. Running, really enjoyed it as well. Like
Or when you
is
say
crazy.
regular shoe, you mean just casual walking around.
It's very comfortable.
Which is a lot of people will buy Ons just for.
Yeah, I think it's the most comfortable on in that respect too.
Yeah.
But you can feel the foam is way softer than any other.
The
version.
Helion.
Yeah. What's weird about this shoe for me though is that I feel like the strongest part of their shoes in the past was the upper in fit and construction.
Yes.
And I actually think this upper isn't that great.
It still looks good though.
Looks great.
What didn't you like about it?
There's just no like it's
Got a very shallow toe box, and I have a low volume,
does have a shallow toe box.
low volume foot.
Yep. There's it doesn't like all their other uppers you can get a good lockdown. This lacing, it still has the off center lacing, which is just weird in this. Like it doesn't really work. I feel like on this kind of shoe.
I think to keep it looking simple, and to probably drop weight because it with this much midsole, you're gonna have a heavier On.
No, I get it.
I
know why they
understand
did
the choices,
I know why they
but
did
I
it.
understand also what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do love the way that this one feels through the stride, though. You kind of you still feel the Cloud Tech, so you kind of feel the segmented
Yeah.
grid, but for some reason in this shoe, it's enjoyable.
Yeah. I felt the same. That's what really was I loved about this shoe. I was like, oh, you actually feel that interesting
And like a give.
sensation. Yeah, the give and pushback. And I was like, oh, this is I feel like what they were trying to do forever.
Yeah, and I took it for two different runs. So I did a shorter run in it, like just I think it was like 6 miles, and then I did like a 14-mile run in it all at once. And the reason I did the 14, even though I had speed work involved in it, and I don't think this shoe is great for speed work, was because the short run, the 6 mile, I did with the, you know how we have the weekly run here out of the headquarters, and they like to move, and I was able to kind of like keep pace in this shoe, which I was like, okay, so it can roll fast, and it's nice and cushioned. It felt really good that first one out. Taking on the 14, and I don't know, I'll get your opinion, Robbie, on yours runs, but taking on the 14 is where the shoes started to feel a little heavier.
Okay.
And I think some of the problems with the upper did shine through, like the shallow toe box. I felt like my big toe was rubbing up a little bit in the front. And just like trying to hold a pace in it, I felt like I had to work a little bit harder. Now, normally if I was doing the workout I was doing for that 14 miles, I'd probably wear my race day shoe or a backup or something like that because I want to hit race day paces. And I just didn't feel it in that shoe, even though I do think you can pick up the pace in this.
Yeah. I just found I didn't do anything like super long or fast in it, so I can't attest to that. But overall, for sure, the best On shoe yet.
Easily.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say, and I don't know if this is the same on the other shoe, but the grip is really good.
I think this has been my experience. The grip's always been good.
Okay. I might have just forgotten that or whatever. Yeah. But
well, you know, I did that little speed shoe they had, the Cloud Boom.
Uh-huh.
And in the Cloud Boom, I actually wore it for one of those times we did a 5K trial during COVID. Mm-hmm. Grip was actually one of the reasons I liked it because I felt like that one's closer to feeling like a flat, and it gripped and felt pretty good fast.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was another thing that I really loved about the shoe. Again, I think it looks really cool. It is a little bit deceptive because the sidewalls on here are way higher than the actual
where you're
shoe.
sitting into the shoe.
I think the top of the actual midsole is the cloud, like where the clouds are, like the top of the clouds. It's, I mean, basically right above the speedboard.
Well, yeah, you can see the speedboard, and that's probably where it lands. Meg, you ran in this before you lost yours. What did you think?
I did 10 miles in it, and like I agree with everything you guys pretty much said. It's definitely the best On I've ever run in.
But you're like the max cushion maven.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I
put that on a t-shirt.
I mean, I really liked it. I enjoyed the miles. Like if you closed your eyes, you can still tell you're wearing an On shoe. Like it feels like an On shoe in the sense that like you feel the little pods under your feet, but not necessarily in like a bad or good way. Just feels like an On shoe. I mean, I didn't mind the upper like you guys did, but like I said, I only did 1 10-mile run in it. So.
Which is strange to me because if anybody has feet that would like be bugged by an upper,
it's me.
It's you. But the good news is the most people that love Ons right now, I think it's a mixed bag. This one is gonna please runners, but it's also, since they have a lot of people that like these for like, what would you even, is it lifestyle? What is it?
Casual wear.
Yeah. This shoe, like Robbie said, walking around, standing around, is a very comfortable shoe.
I mean, compare that to like the Cloud Swift, and it's like night and day, not even close. Yeah. So, and by the way, like the upper on it, it's not bad. I just like, I feel like some of the other uppers I prefer.
Like, I think also we've disliked the ride so much that all we had to say nice was that the upper was good. So I feel like in this one, we're like, okay, you've got a shoe here.
Yeah.
What would I improve about it? And it maybe a little bit in the upper.
And I believe this just came out when this airs. Would have been out for 2 days. And I think it's like 180, if I'm not mistaken. You want me to pull that up?
Like, I think they're going to sell a ton of these.
I mean, because like we were just saying, like this is great for long runs, easy runs, but also if you're just in the casual wear market.
Actually, 170s. That's right in line with everything else.
Robbie, you were wearing this shoe, and you pointed out something to me that I was surprised about. You had a little delamination of the
like the
welding
heat,
on it.
Yeah, like the heat welding on the side of the shoe where it says Cloud Tech. It did come off, but I mean, I just glue it back on, but still sucks.
I don't want to be gluing my shoes after.
I don't know that
runs.
I don't know it affected the actual integrity of the shoe. It's more cosmetic, but at the same time, it's
but
like
the people that are buying this want
yeah
cosmetic
after 15 miles or something. You don't really want that.
And 175.
Yeah.
So that might be something to look 170. You might want to look out for that.
So I also took out the Cloud Vista, which is their new like road to trail shoe, and you
took it out in like kind of crappy conditions.
Yeah.
Too.
And I was actually like really surprised because it handled them pretty well. The shoe was, I feel like their shoes are running smaller now, so that's something to look out for. But it was too tight for a trail shoe.
Okay.
I mean, I did it. My toes hurt after, but
and people are always like kind of like the first thing people say with the trail shoe because you have the Cloud Tech.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna get rocks in it. Yeah.
So
I kind of like getting the rocks. You get a little souvenir action to take home, give
but
to your kids.
It honestly wasn't that bad, right?
No, it wasn't.
And you were in muddy, wet conditions.
Yes, I wasn't picking anything up. And it was a very light shoe. It is a little firmer, like on roads, but on trails, it was like reminded me of one of those more lightweight racing style shoes, like the Skechers Trail or things like that. The Razor Trail, the Adidas Terex. Just it was fun. I liked it, so that was cool too. Anyways, but I think that's enough for On. But yeah, I'm really excited. They're turning a corner.
Yeah, this is going to be fun for us to do the video review because in the past, we don't always want to bash a shoe.
Yeah.
And
we never want to. We want all the good shoes.
And what the goal of our reviews are to put you in the best footwear that we can. Like, we want you to have a good experience running, so you keep running.
And then if we're just happy about shoes all the time or give you an unbiased thing, then it's better when they actually make a great shoe that it's more meaningful. If we can be hey, this is
the right direction.
This is
Yeah.
So hope you appreciate that.
Yeah. Wait for it. It's coming. We'll give you that video review. We'll give you the written review, and you can check it out.
All right. Anything else for today?
I think that's it.
Okay.
So this week,
wow.
So this week we are talking with Ashley Paulson. Ashley is a pro triathlete
and a mom.
She's a mom of 4. She's an iFit trainer. She's run 97 marathons. She actually just hired Ryan.
And she's also not. I mean, she is super competitive at these marathons.
So she just hired on Ryan Hall to try and go for the OTQ standard, which is that 237. She's actually run a 236, but it was on a downhill course, so not eligible.
Yeah, what course is that? Because that's the one I'm going to.
Back in 2019, that it's one of those mountain ones where you just start at the top and
that's
run
what
down.
I want one of those.
But yeah, so she's actually she told us in this podcast she's switching her training goal this summer to do something a little bit more crazy. So
yeah, we're not even sure Ryan was ready for this one.
Nope.
So it's good, it's interesting, and thanks for coming on.